The fear of relationships, the fear of romantic relationships, the fear of friendships, and just the fear of socializing with the wrong people. Something that's been going on recently with me is that I fear so much of putting in this effort into a specific person that I like self-jeopardize myself, if that makes sense. I fear that I put too much time into them because I could just end up getting backstabbed. I fear of getting backstabbed. I fear that I just put too much effort in. I fear that maybe they're not as invested into me as I am into them. I fear that I'm wasting the time with the wrong person. And then, to top it all off, I fear of allowing these fears to overcome me and miss out on somebody or people that are great. So this isn't really like most videos that I would make. It's more just to tell you that if you're in like a similar situation as me, and if you can relate to me, please let me know. But if you're in a similar situation with me, I'm just telling you that you're not like alone in this scenario. And then as a man, as a guy, as a boy, whatever you want to call me, I fear that if I open up to these people, that I'll be looked as less. I fear that if I tell these people, in my specific scenario, it's like more of a romantic relationship, but I also fear that with friends it's kind of there, but not as bad. And I think it's just that way with romantic relationships because the way I view it is I'm not looking for like a hit and run. I'm looking for like the one. And I know some people find that like cliche or like Disney, but that's just me. So I put a lot of stress on myself on trying to find this person. So I fear a lot out of doing the things a good person would do. What would a good person do? A good person would take the time out of their day to just reach out to somebody, right? Check up on them. A good person would, care for people, whatever. And that's what I want to be. But when you do it so much to the point where you get backstabbed pretty much every time, it gets hard to keep doing that. So with my specific situation, it's a huge just mash of fears just combining together. And it's hard. You fear you're gonna get cheated on, you fear you're gonna get backstabbed, played, you fear you're wasting too much time with the wrong person, you fear that if you let these fears win that you might miss out on somebody amazing, right? You fear so much, and the only thing I can tell you, or the only thing I've been doing really is just writing it out. And to be honest with you, I heavily relate to the whole like feeling like less of a man. Like if you are a guy, I feel like a lot of guys know how that feels. If you open up about your feelings, it might make you seem like you're emotional, or that you're less valuable to society. You're not useful. You're just a waste of space. And even though I feel this way now, the logic side also kicks in. And if you're feeling the way I'm feeling, if I were you, I would try to get this thought out of your head. And to be honest, like if you're in a similar situation as me, to where maybe you're in like a romantic relationship or even like a friendship, if you have these feelings towards somebody, and let's say like in my scenario, she doesn't necessarily treat me wrong. She doesn't. She treats me very good. But the thought keeps coming back. This all could be a setup, this could be a play. I could waste my time and get nothing out of it in return. If I tell her how I feel, I'll be looked upon as less masculine, less of a man, because I'm opening up about what I actually am going through. And that's the thing, and as I've kind of just cooped all this up and like I bottle it together, and I've yet to say anything to her. And I think if you're in a similar situation as me, the only way you can get out of this is to just, one, don't give up. If you think if you think with your logic side, don't think with the emotional, because that's what's keeping me in. If I would think with my emotional side, there's no way I'd still be trying with this. There's no way. I would have already given up. So when you think with your logic side, you're like, okay, well, has this person done anything? Because this is what's happening. You fear this way based on what you've seen in your own life, whether that's stuff that's happened to you, stuff that happens to other people, whether it's stuff that you see on social media. And I'm sorry if you hear background noise, but this is the thing. And if you see this stuff, it starts coming into your own life, and then affects the good people as well, which is bad. And it mostly affects you too, obviously, but it also will linger into the good people. So what you need to ask yourself in these certain times is just ask, has this person necessarily done me wrong in any way? And sometimes if you're talking to really good people, you'll find that no. Or I had to cut because I had people walking by. I might have to cut again because they might walk by again. But anyways, you might find that these people haven't done you wrong in any scenario. It's just your brain playing against your brain. So think with your logical side. Has this person done me wrong in any scenario? Maybe they've made some mistakes. And here's the thing. I don't believe in canceling somebody out because they made mistakes. There's the cut again. But anyways, I don't believe in canceling people out of your life because they made a mistake or they made some mistakes or whatever it is. You can't think that way because that one person made a mistake, or maybe they said something you didn't necessarily like, that's your reasoning to just completely eliminate them from your life, completely take them out of your life and never talk to them again. Because what I'm saying is that you might be missing out on a very great person, and that's the situation I'm in right now. It's hard, and the only way I can think of to really get out of this is, one, keep pushing through if you think the person's worth it. If you really think logically and you're like, do I really see like a long-term friendship with this person or marriage with this relationship or whatever it is that you may see in the future, if you think logically and you think they really haven't done anything to really be negatively treated, I say just keep pushing through the mental barrier. That's really it. That, and if you're a guy, you might find it hard in the beginning, which I'm definitely finding it hard, but tell them how you feel. It really is that simple, and I think communication goes a long way. Communication goes a long way. Like, I overthink about stuff about, like, I'll give you a perfect example. I overthink about things like, if I'm reaching out to her, I'll think less of myself because I think that somehow I'm beneath her. Or if I just start a conversation, or I'm like, oh, maybe I'm texting more than she is. Maybe I reach out to her more than she reaches out to me. Maybe I ask this question more than she asks me. It's constant battle with myself. And in reality, she hasn't done, and the thing is, she'd be doing the same thing. And that's another thing. You might find out more about a person if you just simply stated how you actually are. maybe when they ask, how are you? It's time to tell the truth. How are you really? That is the truth. That's the situation I'm in. It's hard. You constantly overthink, you constantly doubt, you constantly just like, well, this and this happened in my past before, so this must happen again, right? Well, I seen this and this happen to this person, so that means what makes me so special? What makes it mean that it's not gonna happen to me? You know, maybe I reach out more than she does, or maybe she reaches out to me more, so then I feel like I'm not putting effort in, or whatever. You constantly gonna tell yourself things to kind of like self-sabotage you. Like that's exactly what I'm doing, and it's fear of the wrong relationship. That is what is happening, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult to form new relationships with significant others, with friends, with whatever. It's very hard. But it's even harder with significant others, at least for me, because the way I view it is a friend is a friend, right? It's a bro, it's a whatever. And yes, it sucks when they backstab you, but I feel like it's just 10 times worse when you you see a future with somebody. If they backstab you, that's just like a knife to the gut. Like it's bad. It is never a good feeling. And the thing is, you can be in a similar situation with me. The girl or the guy hasn't even done anything to you to begin with. They haven't even done you wrong. And it's just you against you. That is what I am in. It's just me and me. Logic, emotion, colliding together. Sometimes the emotion wins. Sometimes the logic wins. I'd say right now, the logic is winning most part, because I'm telling you, if I let the emotion win, there's no way I don't think I would still be talking to her. So, I mean, I guess the point of this video is just that relationships are very, very difficult. Nothing comes easy, and the only way you're gonna get over these types of barriers is just simply by communicating. I think like right now, I still think that if I reach out, I am less of a man. If I tell her how I feel, I'm less of a man. And I'm just downplaying myself each and every time. And then the other thing that hits me is that that if I tell her these things, she might change, but then another fear comes in. It's like, but then she's not changing because she wants to change. She's not treating me because she wants to treat me that way. She's treating me because I told her to treat me that way. Which I think that can be fixed just based off how you state the question. So I think if you need to address your feelings, I mean, make sure you ask how they feel in the same circumstance. Just be prepared for an answer you might not want to hear. The only way you're going to grow that relationship is, like I've said this before, communication. It really is key. It is what keeps relationships intact. But I think sometimes you got to respect yourself. Sometimes you got to respect her. Think of it this way. She can't read your mind. He can't read your mind. You can't read her mind. She can't read yours. Somebody at some point is going to have to take the lead. It can either be you or it can be the other person. So that's what I need to see it as. Somebody has to take the lead, and most of the time it probably will be me. Doesn't mean I should take it every time, but you'd be surprised. I feel like if I just did, like, I know what to do. It's just I'm letting this whole I'm less of a man get in the way of it. So I think that once you get over this, and you really just, reach out and tell her how you feel, and it's a girl you really, somewhat trust. You may still be in the beginning stages, or screw it. Even if you don't trust her, like I don't trust her. I've only been talking to her for a few months. I don't trust her. if I trusted her, why would I have all this doubt and this fear? So you know what? Scratch that. It doesn't matter if you trust her or not. If you want to build trust, communication. That's it. I mean, and I'm making this video for you, and I'm making it for me. Because sometimes I am my best teacher sometimes. Sometimes I need to listen to what I am saying, what I tell other people, and it can fix my own problems. I kind of know what I need to do. The only way to get rid of this, like, eating away at me is to simply address it. If I don't do that, it's going to get nowhere. So it's the same for you. If you're just having this constant, like, say you're getting in a relationship or you're meeting new people or whatever, and you're worried, you're having the same worries as me or similar, you just have this fear, this doubt, insecurity. You want to know how they're real? You address your problems. You judge how the way they respond to it. If they seem like, you know what, they don't give a shit, they don't care about me, whatever, then maybe they don't. But sometimes, this would be one of those times where it'd probably be better to hear, I've had the same problems too, or I have the same worries too. And most of the time, if they're the right people, they probably will tell you that. Because you gotta give them the opportunity to speak how they feel. Don't make them feel like obligated. You know? Just, it's all about how you approach it. Really. But you're gonna fear a lot. But you might fear that it's not the right person, and they might not be, but they also might be. So there's only one guaranteed shot at if they're the one or not, right? Or yeah, and the guarantee is that you can force them not to be, even if they are. You wanna know how? You assume that they're not, automatically, by default. And that guarantees you that you will not be with her, even if she is the one. Or you will not be with him, even if he is the one. Simply because you just gave up. It got hard, so you stopped. And remember that nothing good comes easy. So sometimes when you go through these hard times like that I'm going through, sometimes that is the key to finally open up. That is my biggest problem, is just I'm so closed off. Like, when she sees me, she ain't gonna see this video, but when she sees me, she thinks I'm happy, like, all the time. I guarantee she would never guess how I actually feel. Because, and I think this is the way with a lot of guys, because we're just good at hiding emotions. We're good at bottling it up and not telling anybody. Maybe we'll tell our parents or something, but we are good at bottling up and not telling the person we should be telling. I should have told her this stuff way before, when it first started, and I'd probably not be having this feeling. But because I kept telling myself, well, if I come out, she's gonna look at me as less of a man, or I will be less of a man if I come out, or if I do this or I do that, I am less of a man, I am less masculine, I am less strong, I am less mentally stable. And I think at the end of the day, you just gotta throw your ego to the side and just say screw it, and just go all in on it. I know that's what I have to do, but it's very hard, it's very difficult, and I think sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and just go for it. But let me know, if you're going through like similar stuff, because that's where I am at. It's very, very difficult, but you never know what could happen if you really just try. So if you think with your logical side that this person could be someone who could be very important to you in their future, or in your future, tell them how you feel, and that will tell you right there what kind of person they are. That will tell you right there if they are worthy to stay in your life. If they treat you like shit, and it's the same thing, like if this girl, if I came out with my feelings, and this girl treated me like shit because of it, she's not worthy. But what happens if the other thing happens? Think about that too. If you came out, told them how you really feel, you might be surprised at what actually comes out of it. So, is it worth the risk? It's all the risk. It's a risk-taking game. Is it worth the risk? And sometimes your risk is 80-20, sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 20-80. But you gotta take it. You'll never know if you don't address it. And remember, bad things happen when talking stops. Bad things happen when communication ends. And I need to see this. You need to see this. Bad things happen, especially in relationships, when communication stops. When you stop communicating, when you stop trying, when you stop addressing what you actually feel inside. Not what you look like on the outside, but how you actually feel on a deeper level about the person, about you both. When you stop, it leads to bad things because you let it bottle up inside and it turns into hatred, and then it turns into doubt, fear, uncertainty, insecurity, all of the above. Like, you can look at some of the best looking dudes and the best looking women out there, and they sometimes are the most insecure people. Like an analogy I could give you is like, say you had like a supermodel woman with a man, and say that man had a celebrity crush on some celebrity, but she was a supermodel. She might still fear that if he had the chance with that celebrity, that he would go after her instead of her, even though she's a supermodel. And I mean, that's a very out there example, but it just goes to show you that no matter how rich, no matter how confident, no matter how good looking you are, you might still fear stuff, but you want to know how you get rid of that fear is by simply addressing it. And yeah, then you might have another fear, be like, well, what if they're lying? Usually I feel like you can kind of feel in your gut if they're really just lying to you, because then their actions will kind of follow through with what they're doing, yada yada yada. So I think you'll be able to kind of tell. Sometimes you can't, but most of the time I think you will. So just think with your logical side, not emotion. I'm just here to tell you though that if you really are in a similar situation as me, if your relationships is real and it's like a battleground. You gotta fight through it. And it sounds corny, it sounds like a Disney movie, but you really just gotta fight for your love. Best way to put it. So, like, I just got a text from one of my friends. I told him how I really am, and he opens up. So it's that right there tells me, like, when somebody says how are you and you're just like, good, so everybody says. Next time they ask you, just be like, you know what, no, I'm not. I'll be honest, I've cried like 3 times over this. If you are in a similar situation, you are not less of a man to cry over these things. You are not less of a man to face your fears. If anything, it makes you brave. It makes you more of a man. I've got emotional over this thing like multiple times, and sometimes I feel like people think I'm crazy. I've only known this girl for a few months, and it eats away at me. But it doesn't eat away at me because she needs to be removed from my life or because she's a terrible person. No, she's amazing. She treats me very well. It's just me. It's just overthinking constantly. And I know some people would be like, oh, this is your time, this is the time to take a break. And everybody knows what that means. Take a break, that means you're done. Nobody comes back after a break. So no, this is the time not to take a break. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to address. For me, the problem keeps coming back. The only way I can truly get rid of it is by telling her the truth. Not telling my parents, not telling a friend. No, her. Put the ego aside, and you know what? If you're a guy and she does think less of you after this, that tells you right there what kind of person she was from the beginning. And then great, you just saved yourself years and years and years of pain. But what happens if you tell her, and if anything, she's glad you opened up, and on top of that, she treats you even better because she respects you more, she trusts you more, because it's not every day that people just open up about how they really feel about somebody. It's not every day that people open about how they really feel on the inside, you know? So, I'm just here to tell you that God is with you. And you never know. They could be with you from the beginning. It's just you don't know because you don't address the problem. So address the problem. God is with you. If you're having a similar experience, comment it. You know, don't be afraid. I'm not a big creator. I don't have a lot of followers or whatever. I just want to change somebody's mindset. That's my goal. And I hope that 3 years from now, who knows? Maybe I'll be married, maybe I won't be. Maybe I will have a bigger following, maybe I won't. But I hope that I can look back 3 years from now, not be, sad that I made these videos, but more just glad because this could change someone's life. Everybody's on social media, so they might as well benefit from it, right? So, yeah. That's really it though. Fear of relationship, it's real. God is with you. The real ones are there. Even if you don't have them right now, they're there. Those people are out there. You just gotta find them. But that's the thing. Finding these people, it creates a lot of fear. Fear of spending time with the wrong person. You get backstabbed a lot. But for all the backstabbing, there always comes a good one. So, but that's really it. Relationships are tough. The fear will get you, the doubt will get you. And there's people out there that'll say, you're just insecure. And you know what? Maybe you are. Maybe you are. Face the truth. Maybe you are insecure. But they shouldn't use that as a way to be against you. They should use it as a way to comfort you. If they are real, they will try to keep you in their life as much as possible. Not put you in a bad spot, That's not what they should do. They shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, well, you're just insecure. You know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I am the most insecure person on the planet. Maybe I'll die alone. Who knows? But you're never going to find out these real people if you never address the issues that you're having. You can't assume they read your brain. That's what I've been doing. I've been assuming that, you know what, she just should know. She should just do it. If she wanted to, she would. And you know what I found out? When I reached out to her, I told her, I was honest. I was like, be honest with me. Does it bother you that I reach out to you as much as I do? And I only reach out to her on the weekends. It's not like I'm up her ass every day. I reach out to her on the weekends. And her answer she gave me was, no, actually, I thought I bothered you because you work or I think you're tired, so I don't reach out to you throughout the week. That's why. See, a simple communication. And the thing is, I seen that, and I still am having troubles addressing how I really feel. So it's just crazy. It's crazy how your brain works. It's crazy how fear works and doubt. But don't let that be the reason that you're like, oh, well, if I doubt and I fear, then she must not be the one. No. Sometimes that is a good sign. I made a video about this before. Doubt. When you doubt, keep pushing forward. Keep a positive mindset. Focus on the positives. What has he or she done to improve your life, realistically? And look, they're probably learning just like you are. That's the other thing. Sometimes I forget this. I'm like, you know what? No, she should know everything. And the answer is no. You're supposed to grow together. You're supposed to grow together. That is what it's about. It's about growth, change, being better. She uses me to improve, I use her to improve. The only way you can do that is through communicating how you feel, communicating anything. Just communication in general is key. This video is 30 minutes long. That tells you how much I've really just been struggling with this stuff. It's been nagging and digging at me forever. So I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. I've said this like 5 times that this is it, but this is it now. You're not alone. God's with you, and I promise you there's always light at the end of the tunnel. But as always, life isn't too short to make a change.